here are 10 WWE stars who never turned heel in WWE. Now, this list is very interesting, and when I was doing my research, I'm not going to lie, some of these names, they surprised me. Look, I'm 30. I've been watching WWE literally since I can remember. Big Rock fan here, but there's a lot of these names on here, both guys and gals, that I did not know never turned heel. And it's actually quite interesting because some of these guys and gals, they were with the company for a long period of time, yet they never went from a good guy to a bad guy. So, with that being said, let's go. Also, on a side note, these are not like ranked number 1 to number 10. These are just 10 people. There's no order, least to worst, best to worst, nothing like that. Okay, so starting it off, Jim Duggan. Now, he worked for the company from 87 to 93, 05 to 09, and 2011 to 2012. Look, he became a household name in the WWE after joining the company in 87. His popularity surged when he won the inaugural Royal Rumble in 1988, and he consistently portrayed a babyface in WWE, although he did have a brief heel run in WCW when he was part of Team Canada in 2000. But Duggan's contributions to wrestling, it earned him a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame. And everybody will remember that Jim Duggan is the man who walks around in like boxer shorts, blue boxer shorts, I might add, with a 2x4 and yells, "Oh!" Up next, the Ultimate Warrior, who was one of WWE's most iconic babyfaces, also one of the most controversial names in the history of the wrestling business. Now, apart from his brief heel stint in 1987 down in World Class Championship Wrestling, he remained a hero, I should say, to fans throughout his career. Austrian Warrior's reputation was marred by disputes and unprofessional behavior, but his larger-than-life persona left an indelible mark on the industry, right? From multiple tenures with the company, his epic rise in 1990, ultimately, 89 into 90, I should say. Don't forget his IC title run, beating Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, etc., etc. And then, of course, all of his fallouts with Vince McMahon. He was truly one of a kind. Rey Mysterio, yep, I believe the greatest luchador in the history of the wrestling business. Now, Rey Mysterio's career has been defined by his role as an underdog babyface. Though he briefly played a heel in WCW, the experiment didn't resonate with fans, and then, get this off my television. So, while generally adored, Rey, he faced boos on rare occasions, such as WrestleMania 22, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, and during the 2014 Royal Rumble, when fans expected Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Bryan Danielson, to win it. Despite these moments, Rey has remained one of wrestling's most beloved figures. He is probably one of the most over guys in the history of the business. He's also probably one of the most underrated guys in the business because, while yes, WWE has booked him in a strong way over the years, they've also went years completely underutilizing him. It's really a shame. I feel like he could always been a bigger star than he is, but truly one of a kind. And a super nice guy. Bruno Sammartino. Now look, he has been and will always be a cornerstone of WWE, serving as its face during Vince McMahon Sr.'s era. All the events that they would run at MSG. Regardless of his long tenure, which, by the way, his first tenure in WWE was from 63 to 81 and then 84 to 88, well, he never turned heel. Sammartino was the company's world champion for an unprecedented 2,803 days. Although he left WWE on bad terms, he did later come back into the fold thanks to Triple H and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and hopefully can pronounce days better than I can. Now, Bruno did pass away in 2018, but his contributions to the wrestling business will forever be remembered. R.O.P. to Bruno Sammartino. Coming in next, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. From 85 to 88, and then a stint in 1991, Ricky Steamboat's career was defined by an unwavering connection with the fan base. Although he was once considered turning heel, WWE's Pat Patterson believed it would be a tarnish to his appeal. So, Steamboat, he opted to stay as a babyface. Now, most notably, I think Steamboat is remembered for his victory over Randy Savage for the IC title at WrestleMania 3. It's such an iconic moment in WWE. Now, in terms of his overall career, I would say it's probably his legendary feud with Ric Flair in NWA/WCW. Now, when Steamboat returned to WWE in 2009 for a feud with Chris Jericho, the outpouring of fan support reaffirmed his legendary status, as well as one of the most over babyfaces that there has ever been in the history of the wrestling business. Coming in next, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. From 85 to 88, and then a stint in 1991, Ricky Steamboat's career was defined by an unwavering connection with the fan base. Although he was once considered turning heel, WWE's Pat Patterson believed it would be a tarnish to his appeal. So, Steamboat, he opted to stay as a babyface. Now, most notably, I think Steamboat is remembered for his victory over Randy Savage for the IC title at WrestleMania 3. It's such an iconic moment in WWE. Now, in terms of his overall career, I would say it's probably his legendary feud with Ric Flair in NWA/WCW. Now, when Steamboat returned to WWE in 2009 for a feud with Chris Jericho, the outpouring of fan support reaffirmed his legendary status, as well as one of the most over babyfaces that there has ever been in the history of the wrestling business. Alundra Blaze. From 93 to 95, Blaze stood out as a trailblazer during WWE's New Generation era. In a time in which women's wrestling was overshadowed, Blaze's feud with Bull Nakanoa over the Women's Championship was a highlight. A 3-time Women's Champion, she remained a babyface during her WWE tenure. However, controversy broke in 1995 when she famously jumped ship from WWE to WCW, and live on Monday Night Nitro decided to dump the WWE Women's Championship into a trash can. Despite the fallout, Blaze, she met up with WWE, and 2 decades later, she was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Pretty cool, right? Moving it along is Sting. Yes, now he worked for the company from 2014 to 2016, technically in a in-ring capacity. Now, after years of loyalty to WCW, Sting did make his jump to WWE in the fall of 2014 at Survivor Series. Now, unfortunately, though, his WWE tenure, well, it did not meet expectations among fans. And yes, they were quite high. Now, Sting's debut match at WrestleMania against Triple H at WrestleMania 31 ended in a surprising loss. Following months, I should say, he challenged Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions, but the match ended when Sting suffered a career-ending issue. And it was a situation in which he had spinal stenosis. He was later not medically cleared, and it took him years to come back to the wrestling business, ultimately joining AEW. But while in WWE, he remained a beloved babyface and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016 before leaving the company. Also, on a quick side note, he was never a heel in AEW either. So, there you have it. And technically, our second to last name, Goldberg. From 2003 to 2004 and 2016 onward, Goldberg has made his much anticipated impact on WWE. Fans always wondered what it would be like if you had Goldberg in WWE, and that finally happened when he made his debut on the Raw after WrestleMania 19, going into a feud with The Rock, and ultimately beating him in the main event of Backlash that same year. Now, Goldberg, he later targeted Triple H, going in a multi-month hunting spree for the World Heavyweight title, and finally dethroned Triple H at Unforgiven 2003. Despite his popularity, though, he quickly started to have a downfall in WWE. He was not happy to the point where in his last is actually match, truly surprising considering his tenure, but it was Matt Riddle. From 2018 to 2023, Matt Riddle was a fan favorite on WWE's main roster, known for his laid-back demeanor. He was dubbed as the original bro. Now, Riddle, he's a former U.S. champion, a 2-time Raw Tag Team champion alongside Randy Orton. Their partnership brought a new dynamic to Orton's character, with the Viper showing a more relaxed side more than ever. And it also helped him while he was dealing with a back injury. In the summer of 2022, Riddle went up against Roman Reigns for the Undisputed WWE Championship in a competitive match, although he fell short. Throughout his WWE tenure, Riddle never turned heel and had notable moments, including one against Seth Rollins that got real interesting. His WWE tenure came to an end in 2023 when he was released from his contract, and now he's working in MLW.